Is this the best PAL N64 collection on YouTube? Let's take a look. Hello YouTube, N64 Fortress here. In this episode I'm going to go through some of the rarest pieces in my N64 game collection, some of the most expensive pieces in my collection, and tell you why collecting on and off for 10 years N64, why the N64 still matters in this day and age. First up, we have this Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Australian Collector's Edition. We did not get this here in Europe. It is in absolutely beautiful condition. It could have been off the production line yesterday. It could have been sealed yesterday. It's in an absolutely fantastic condition. It's a lovely gold colour that absolutely pops on the shelf, and it's a unique centrepiece really. And what better centrepiece than one of the best games on the system, one of the best games ever made. An absolutely beautiful experience to play this game, especially through adolescence and childhood like I experienced it. One of the best games ever, and the pride and joy of my collection. Really love this piece. It's very difficult for me to put a valuation on this, but in this sort of condition, I think you're looking at least £300 for this. Next up, we have this distributor sealed Flying Dragon. Very difficult game to come by in the PAL territories, particularly English, and not the best game ever made, a little fighter, but a really low print run, hence why it's difficult to find. And it's made from one of these types of cardboard, cheap, flimsy, built-in insert. Most copies you see are always battered, tabs missing. This is in absolutely fabulous condition. Delighted to have this in my collection. Get a copy in this sort of condition, you must be looking at least 4 figures for one of these. Really hard to come by, not many around. Really happy to have a piece like this in my collection. It's not the best game to play by a long shot, but as a collector's piece, an absolutely awesome piece to have in the collection. Next up, we have this red strip sealed Cruis'n World English UKV. Absolutely fabulous condition. Those who collect N64 in the UK especially will know how difficult it is to get this game in any sort of respectable condition. I don't know why, just as black border titles go, this one is normally always battered. Very difficult to find in good condition. So very pleased to have a brand new sealed copy and another unique piece in the collection. It is one of several red strip seals I have, but this is probably the most valuable and important for me because it was so difficult to find in good condition. It felt like getting a brand new sealed copy was the only way that I was going to do that really. Interesting game, and valuation wise you're probably looking at £800 to £1,000 in this condition. While we're on the subject of sealed, I've got this NFL Quarterback Club 2000. This is what they call UKV, English, and it's a very difficult one to find in the UK library, being a later release in the N64 life. NFL was probably not the biggest in the UK at that sort of time, and it's compounded by the fact that it's made by Acclaim, and they cheapskated with their boxes. Very cheaply made, very easily damaged, very easy to get white shelf wear along the edges. So to have a mint copy, brand new and sealed, absolutely buzzing to have a game like this in my collection in this condition. It cost me £200 on eBay. Somebody immediately tried to backdoor it and offer the seller double. Thankfully they were honourable and they honoured the sale. I know that a less nice copy, like similar to this but less nice, sold for £800 last year. So valuation wise, very difficult to put a price on it. I don't believe it's too outrageous to say that this game's worth at least £500. Based on the last sale, £800. Really happy to have this one in my collection. I'm not an NFL fan, so I can't really comment on the gameplay. But as full set journeys go, the rarer games are normally the less sought after games that got put in the bin, ended up in bargain bins, and ones like this that have poor box materials. So absolutely buzzing to have a rare game like this in my collection in this condition. I had to mention this game, didn't I? Nintendo's flagship IP, a launch title in 1996 on the N64, Super Mario 64, in absolutely stunning condition. Now obviously being the best seller on the system, it's not too difficult to find. You're looking at about £100 for a nice one. I can't remember what I paid for this, but it's in absolutely beautiful condition, and you know, it's one of the best games on the system for me. Very enjoyable, very unique, and to have a really nice condition, fully complete in my collection. Absolutely delighted with that. Beautiful condition, beautiful game. Thanks Nintendo for an amazing experience with this one. The best game on the N64 for me, the memories, This is not red strip sealed, it's just got the cellophane around it still. It has been opened, but I picked this up for a very good price many years ago. My original copies bundled up with my console. This is just a game on my shelf, and it looks the part, having the seal still on it. Really nice game from Rare, 1997 blockbuster. The attention to detail was brilliant. The last minute efforts to bring in multiplayer totally changed the trajectory that game went, because the multiplayer is what really carried it all the years later, really. It's what people remember most about it. I enjoyed the solo player, really did, unlocking all the cheats. Really fun Bond experience. But the multiplayer, those 4-player days, playing Temple on Golden Gun mode, etc. Who was being Oddjob or the Moonraker lady to be the shortest to avoid getting shot as much. Beautiful memories with friends, family, and just what the N64 was all about, really. Having 4 of you around the telly, enjoying multiplayer experiences, and just what a magnificent game, magnificent memories, and one that I'll always hold dear in my heart. Being the 3rd bestseller on the N64 to get in good condition, not overly difficult, similar to Mario 64, I guess, probably looking at about £100 for a good copy. Really happy to have this in my collection. Getting on to the Rare games now. For me, this is the most difficult for UK collectors to find. In the Zone 2000, UKV, English. This is a brand new copy. It's never been opened, straight out of a shipping box. Really pleased to have this in my collection. Such a rare game. It's one you really don't see very often. Yes, it's just another cheap fodder basketball game. Probably not the best quality either. I have given it a go. It's, it's nothing special. But in full set libraries, as I've said, these games are normally the most difficult to find. They didn't sell very well. They were just fodder, and most people threw them away in the years where it really didn't matter. So really pleased to have this in my collection. Valuation wise, really difficult to put a value on this, but I have no hesitation in saying at least 4 figures for this game in this condition. You really don't see them very often. You're looking at least £1,000 for this game in this condition. Moving on to the flavour of the week, Rat Attack. This has very quickly become the most expensive game, certainly for UK collectors. You're looking at anywhere between £1,000 and £2,000 for a complete in-box copy now. Very difficult to find, very low print run. Very fun and little charming game, really. Funnily enough, the PS1 version, which is slightly different, you can pick up for about £5, but to find on the N64, incredibly difficult. Somewhat more fun than in the Zone 2000, I think. There's definitely a game to have here, and yeah, really pleased to have had this one in my collection for a while so that I didn't have to pay half as much as what these seem to be going for now. But this is in really stunning condition as well, so it's one that's never been on the upgrade list. Really pleased to have that in my collection. It's a very unique piece, very charming artwork, and this is a lost art now. You don't see games with this sort of packaging anymore, in cardboard, with this sort of artwork. Absolutely fantastic, beautiful piece to have in the collection. Really happy with this one. Last of all, we have the most expensive piece in my collection, Snowboard Kids 2. This was an Australian PAL exclusive. It did get a North American release, but in terms of PAL, it only came out in Australia, not Europe or anything like that. Unique game, following up from a very cool snowboarding game in Snowboard Kids on the N64. Very disappointing that it never made it to Europe, but this also adds to the collecting charm of it because it's so hard to obtain. It's not that rare, it just commands a high price, it always has. Nowadays, you're probably looking at least £2,000 in this sort of condition. It's not absolutely mint, but this is pretty much as good as you're going to get without being mint. It even has the little handbook in there that tells you all the control schemes and so on. Really pleased to have this in my collection. Fun little game, really unique piece to have. If you're going for the full PAL set, you do need this one, and unfortunately the price is running away these days, but glad to have it behind me, glad to have it on the top shelf, pride of place with the other beautiful Australian variants and exclusives that I have in my collection. Really happy with this one. To conclude, the N64 is still relevant because it's so beautiful and charming the way it displays. It reminds us of an era when you bought a game, you got far more than the game itself. You got the wonderful packaging, the manuals, and everything else that was included with it. We've got the upcoming analog 3D, and I believe the N64 scene is going to get a lot more lit when they drop, and people start reliving their experiences and have a hankering to play Nintendo 64 in the highest quality all over again. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop a like, add a comment, let me know what your favourite N64 game is and why. Did you like this video? Do you want to see me showcase more of my collection? I can certainly do that if there's an appetite for it. And don't forget, don't bother subscribing to me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Is this the best? Hello YouTube, N64 here. Hello YouTube, N64 here. In this video I'm going to go through some of the rarest pieces in my N64 collection. Some of the rarest pieces... What?